Previously on Jeep Roscoe. Got a dartboard made in Wales on the wall. And of course with the name Delilah, which literally means Wales. How could I not go there? So effectively I would have done the Nullarbor in 2 days. Quite famous. Yeah, they really got some nice beaches. We're heading down here trying to find a spring, which is quite picturesque apparently. If it goes on for too much longer, then I might turn back because I've got quite a long way to go today. I think I can see it through the trees. Let's go take a look. So after quite a bit of rain recently, you can see that there are large parts of pastures that are underwater. Usually that would have been a track out to the windmill, which is a water bore pulling water up out of the artesian well, and that's a water tank next to it. Obviously, it don't need to be working right now, but it is. To the right of that is a loading ramp. So this would have been a location where in the past they could have used it to load sheep onto a wagon. The ducks are enjoying it. It makes a nice picturesque kind of setting, quite weirdly offset by the windmill and water tank in the middle. There's another water tank down there. Take some photos. So we're just heading out now from the spring towards Carron Hill, and then we'll rejoin the Gabyon to Pindara Road and see if we can make it up to Chinaman's Rock. This track is quite sandy, but it's pretty good. There's a few areas that are quite rocky which you need to slow down for, but other than that, it's pretty good. Wouldn't recommend coming down here in a car on a two-wheel drive, but four-wheel drive, yeah, no problem. And I did put Delilah into four-wheel drive. So there's not many iconic Aussie kind of sights than a windmill bore, especially when it's in a paddock with deep, rich soil, red, rich soil, and termite mounds. There you go, everywhere. Now, the further north we go, you'll notice the termite mounds will get taller and taller until up in the Northern Territory, where they'll be bigger than I am. And I just simply love these windmills, I really do. And one thing I was talking about to somebody yesterday, these are multi-directional. See the little the tail for Let me try again. See the little the tail they've got? That basically rotates it around, so it's always facing the wind direction, which is something the modern turbines don't have, and I'm wondering why. There must be a reason. But yeah, very iconic. And the further north we'll go, the more of a deep, rich, reddy brown the ground will get as well, the soil. But it's already still quite distinctive. The sheer scale on this station is hard to kind of comprehend. It's almost 700,000 acres. It's 690 something thousand acres. And I'm going to drive to almost the extent of it on one end today, and it should take about 2 hours. So this is Bullock Pool on the station still, and this is a lovely little pool to kind of camp alongside. There's a track going up that side, and there's a track going up that side. And having a little look around, there's little spaces where you could quite easily just pitch a tent, or rooftop tent in my case, next to the river, have a little fire, and yeah, beautiful. I'm not sure if mosquitoes would be a huge problem out here with a standing body of water, but just looking down at the water, there's loads of little tadpoles in here, various stages of development. Loads of flies. As you might see evidenced on my face. Loads of flies. They are really doing my head in, to be honest. Something nobody tells you about Australia is flies. Flies are an issue on the coast. Flies are a huge issue inland. They are seasonal. Like, they get really bad in the summer. But just, you know, it's not all milk and honey in Australia. You've got to put up with flies. And you think, flies, you know. But even the simplest tasks, when you're trying to do it, when flies are going in your ears, in your eyes, in your nose, in your mouth, it just, you know, it can cause you to snap like that. I know I have several times. It's just, you know, you just lose it with the bloody flies. They never cease. They're always there, you know. They have a habit of flying right in your ear, and they create a hell of a buzz. Anyway, we're going to go and explore more of the station. We might end up coming back here to stay tonight. I'm not sure yet. So just to give you guys an idea, I've been driving on this road now for about an hour and a half. This is the road. It's a council road, but it goes right through the middle of the station. And I haven't seen another car coming in either direction for an hour and a half. So, you know, we are quite remote where we are. You've got to keep that in mind. Just passed an escarpment there, so I just stopped to try and identify where we are on the station map. This is the map that I've got, which is basically it's a government map showing the pastures and the roads and boundary tracks and boundary lines and things. So it's an official map. Let me spin you around here. So I've just come over a small hill, and that's the track ahead of us. For the most part, the track is pretty good and pretty easy driving. Every now and again, there's a bit of water damage to the road, and you have to slow down to 20 k's an hour to kind of get across it safely. Well, I mean, you could bomb it, but you could damage your tyres. That's the point I'm getting at. For the most part, you'll find yourself driving in the middle of the road, because that's what everybody kind of does here, because the vehicles are few and far between, so you just drive the best line that's on the road. For the most part, I'm driving in two-wheel drive. I only put it into four-wheel drive if the conditions get particularly sandy, or there's a part that I need to go through very slowly, but I might get stuck. So see, there's a slight deterioration here. Slow down slightly, but nothing too bad, and then you're through it again. So this road, the main road, is
New SMS from Geraldton. Press Uconnect phone button and say text message to read it.
Got a bit of signal apparently. So there's a slight respite from the flies inside. A few flies kind of got in with me last time, but because I got the aircon on, they're all hiding at the back somewhere. If I turn it off, they all whoosh run to the front. But one by one, I'm opening the windows and letting them out. So somewhere along this track is Pindara, and that's where the station hands are working today. That I've been invited out to join. They've got the Marima guard dogs with them, which are the big white dogs, and they stay out here with the sheep and the cattle to protect them from dingoes. And I gotta say, they do a rather remarkable job at protecting. They will just stay out here full time with the livestock, and they'll move around with it. If the livestock starts wandering off into away from the main kind of group, they'll go and round them up and bring them back to the main flock. Particularly rocky little section here, so just slow to a crawl. But yeah, if I get a chance, if I manage to find them, I'll show you guys the Marima Bud dogs. They've got some pups at the moment, so it'll be worth seeing. And yeah, we might even see a dingo. You never know. Not that we want to, but they have been a bit of an issue recently. I was talking to the stock hands. They've been a bit of an issue out here at the moment because it's calving and lambing season, and some of the dingoes have taken some of the lambs and some of the calves that have strayed away from the main pack. Because what tends to happen with, like, the sheep, for instance, and they'll be in the main flock, then one sheep will go off on its own, and a few others will follow that sheep, and they'll congregate in a small little flock, and then another sheep will go from the main flock and do the same thing. So all of a sudden you've got loads of little flocks, and the dogs can't keep up with protecting each flock kind of thing. So they try to herd them back together, but there's always going to be stragglers, and that's when the dingoes pounce. They haven't got such an issue with. I thought I was going to do a bit more of that. They haven't had such a big issue with foxes in these parts, because they bait with strychnine and 1080. So if you're coming to stay on this station, I wouldn't recommend you bring dogs. I don't know if they're allowed or not. I'll have to find out about that, because if a dog, there's loads of cow pooing around here. Might see some cattle, because 1080 is extremely susceptible to dogs. If they ingest just a little bit of it, there's no antidote or anything. They will die. Well, what about the working dogs, you ask? Well, the working dogs out here, they're all muzzled, and they're trained not to go anywhere near the baits and everything. Yeah, don't assume just because they got working dogs on the farm that your dog will be fine. Anyway, it's a little bit of a rough patch of the road at the moment, so I'm going to need to concentrate. So I'll turn you guys off and come back to you later. So another sign, they've had a lot of rain recently. The road is flooded. But thankfully they've created a track around, so we'll follow this one around and see if it does indeed go around this body of water. But yeah, the old main track would have gone straight through the middle of it. Yeah, there's been a lot of rain recently, and we're not even into winter yet. Look out for more of the same. Just come across a bit of a mustering station here. It's a bit ironic that some of the best grass around, or the best looking grass I should say, is inside the holding pens. But this is one of the parts where they would muster the cattle to into the pens, ready for loading onto transport. And another iconic windmill. I love them. Love them. Oh, still haven't seen any other vehicles. I haven't heard anything on the CB radio. We'll just keep heading on. So just come to a major kind of crossroads. So I consulted a map, and I think I'm going the right one. It should mean I'm only about 5 to 10 k's away from Chinaman Rock. That way to Yalgoo. That way to Jingamara, and that station, I didn't show you guys, but I passed the station, and it looked like there was people on it, but no one I could recognize. That must be Pindara, which is where the stock hands are today, so I might call it on the way back. I'm going to shoot down here now for 10 k's and see if we do indeed come to Chinaman Rock. If not, flies are just ridiculous. If not, we'll turn back and head back towards the homestead and find somewhere nice to stay for the night. At the moment I'm leaning towards Bullock Pools. There are some signage coming up, so we'll see what it says. So I made it to what I think is Chinaman Rock anyway. Delilah parked on it there. There's a series of these granite kind of boulders, very similar to kind of remarkable rocks on Kangaroo Island in terms of what they're made up of, as is granite down here. It's basically like a bit of a islet, like Uluru in the middle. There's a track around the outside, which I'm going to drive around shortly. I might climb to the top of the big one first, just to see for a bit of a view around. But yeah, nice little area. It looks like there's a creek running through there because there's a very lush green vegetation running along that line, so I'll check that out also. But first things first, just had a spot of lunch and try to get out of the sun and out of the flies, and now I'm going to climb to the top of that and take some pictures. Some cattle Finally. I was starting to think there was no livestock on this, so. Oh, look at these trees around here, the green and yellow ones. Almost looks like a bit like an orchard. I don't know what tree they are, but they're very pretty. So I decided to head back to the Bullock Pool to stay tonight. I'm going to run the risk that the place is going to be mosquito central because I think it's quite lovely, it's picturesque, it's right next to a nice pool. There's nice areas where you can camp directly next to the pool and have a fire, so I'm hoping it's going to be really nice. Curran Hill, which is where I was going to stay, is just up the road a little bit from here. I think going by the fact that there isn't a cloud in the sky, the type of sunset that we're looking at basically is going to be one of the ones where you get nice color bands across the sky, but there's no clouds for the sun to light up as it descends underneath them. So my kind of thought process was, on top of the hill, you get the nice kind of spanning vista and everything, but the sunset's not going to be overly special. You need a lot of nice things in the foreground, and what I'm hoping is I can get a nice picture of the campsite reflected in the pool with the colours of the sunset and the sky, but only time will tell to see if we can pull that off. This is the pool here, and there's tracks going down either side. I want to go on the far side, which means that I have to cross the top end of the pool. The track kind of half goes into it, so I'll keep you on there just to have a look there. So my right tyre is going to be in the water. Sorry to all the tadpoles. And yeah, if we just follow this track down there, the pool is obviously just to the right. Let me see if I can turn you a little bit. So the pool is just off there. So this spot here is where I'm thinking of staying. Not least enough because somebody's built a fire for me. But there's a nice space right next to the pool. But we'll just go and explore a little bit down here, because I didn't go right to the end of the pool last time. Unsure whether or not the road kind of goes all the way around the pool and comes back down the other side. Okay guys, we really got to talk about these flies. Seriously, I've been out in the bush now for 3 days, and when I'm in bed, I know there's no flies in the rooftop tent, but if I can still feel them crawling across me, so I keep squatting. Seriously, it's not good. I've tried putting the face net on again, but it's just too warm at the moment. I don't know if the camera's picking them up or not. I'm in the shade now and there's a breeze. That's the only bit of respite you get. If I can stand up to start getting my drone ready, they just everywhere. Okay, I don't know, it only looks like 1 or 2 on the camera, but it feels like 50 or 60, it's ridiculous. Yeah, that's one thing, you know, on all the brochures and travel things or whatever about Australia. They never kind of feature the flies. You know, okay, it's a promotional thing. They're not going to really concentrate on the negatives, are they? But you know, very few travel shows or YouTube episodes you ever see anybody kind of talking about the flies or just how incessant they are. But it's a big thing, like, you know. I asked the farm owners the other night when I joined them for dinner. I said, look, I'm not being funny, but do you ever get used to the flies? And they all looked at each other and they just went, no, you never get used to them. So the only kind of good thing is they're seasonal. So in the winter time you don't get that many. But Jesus wept, you know. It's just crazy, absolutely crazy. It's enough to drive anyone spare. It really is. Any kind of little task you try to do, they're just on you. And you know, they're quite smart as well. Like when you're cooking, yeah, there's nowhere to be found. You're like, oh, fine. You sit down to eat, and they just woof onto you. Let's see how long I can go without swatting them away. There's one in my ear right now. One in my eye. You see people being interviewed on TV, and there's flies doing this, and they don't do anything. And you're just like, well, are these people just acclimatized to it, or you know? Jesus. And on top of the blowflies, you get march flies, which look a lot like horse flies in the UK, and they leave a hell of a bite. That's what I just fed to the spider on the mirror. I tried putting my mozzie nest up, but it's a cheap one I got off Wish. It's bloody rubbish. So I might have to see if they do one to go along with this awning before I go up north, because they're just going to get worse and worse. Worse and worse. There's a massive hornet on the fire right now. Like, not on the fire's not lit, it's on the fire. I'm going to see if I can show it. It's gone already. Anyway, got a fire, look. Let me show you around camp. Alright. So this is the Bullock Pool. Kind of like a long canal type pool. A few ants around. So I'm the only one here, as I'll show you when I get the drone up in a second. This is on the station. Cullen Hill that I climbed the other day is just in the distance there. So yeah, I got the solar panels out. So 500p's on 100% at the moment. So that's why I'm going to put the drone up now, waste the battery and unplug that in. It's my awning I got from King's. It's the 1.5 by 2 meter. I could lower it down a wee bit, I guess. And the sun basically is travelling an hour and it's going to set over there somewhere. So there is a big ball of hotness in the sky. So to get it over the water, I'm going to need to go on the other bank over there, which hopefully I'll get the sunset in and Delilah in the same photograph. Bloody march flies. My friend told me, and I have no idea if it's true or not, with the march flies you shouldn't kill them, because if you kill them loads will come in their place. It's like Hydra of the fly world. What you should do instead is just like stun it and then disable it basically, and that's kind of what I did, and then I fed it to the spider. Anyway, as you can see, there's no fish or anything in here. There's ducks going up and down. I'm guessing at certain points of the year this dries out completely, but I'm hoping because it's a fresh water that we'll get a bit of wildlife coming to drink around here at sunset. But yeah, I'm going to go on that bank there and try to get the sun setting over there and get the Jeep in at the same time. Oh, I need to lower that. Alright, anyway, I'm going to get the drone up and give you a better bird's eye view. So this is what happens to flies that really annoy me. I stun them and then I feed them to my friend who lives behind this mirror. I've already fed him like 3 different flies. It's quite a big spider. Quite a big spider. But this one's not moving, so it's quite a big little beetle. Don't know what kind of beetle it is, but quite big. The view from the other side of the river, the sun's just setting there. Beautiful, beautiful sky. The wind has died down. The water's reflecting just as I had hoped. I've got my Insta360 up over there, which you can hear me on my lapel mic. And yeah, beautiful, beautiful. As you can see behind me, the sun has now gone down. It's quite a beautiful sunset. One of the clean ones, as I was saying earlier, that no clouds and whatever, so it just goes down. But then you get this nice afterglow later on. Also got the fire going, and the little body of water there is like glass at the moment, so very good. Also recording on my Insta360 1x2 there, and the Rode Wireless 2. So yeah, hopefully we'll have some decent footage of this. That's quite spectacular. Look at that. You can see front runner on that. Here comes the moon. That's the reflection in the water. That's the moon. When it was very low on the horizon, I thought there was a fire, because through the trees it was bright, kind of orangey red. You can't see it, but my camera is there. I've been trying to take photos of it and of the Milky Way, but you won't be able to see that on the phone, unfortunately. So good morning from out bush. Just waking up to well, it's easier if I show you, really. Let me turn this light off. Look at that. Sun is just coming up slowly. So the sun is coming up very slowly. The sun's coming up very slowly. I just thought I'd share this with you. So it really is beautiful at this time of the morning. It's just so peaceful, so still. I don't know if you can hear the birds in the background. It sounds like some weird siren. Yeah. But the sun has yet to show its face, so I'm just enjoying this calmness before the flies descend, because as soon as the sun comes up, the flies will come out to play. I'll just show you how still the water is here as well. Rooftop tent's going really well at the moment, actually. The only negative I can see about it is, you know, once you've set up for the day, that's you're there. If you want to go somewhere, you've got to pack it all up and then pull it back out. The moon is still up. I got up for a toilet break in the middle of the night, and it was cold. But with the moon, I didn't need my torch at all. It was just, look at that. It was like walking around, not in daylight, you know, because it was not that light, but you didn't need a torch at all. It's going to be a warm one today. The fire I had last night, I made sure it was out before I went to bed. But that went well. See I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera, but thin kind of lilacs and pinks on the horizon that side. Time now is 6:30. The sun is due to come up at about 6:34, so not long to go. I'll keep you updated. Here comes the sun. Doo -doo -doo -doo. Well, here we are. Sunrise. Beautiful. So, some of you might have wondered from time to time, what does he do if he needs to go to the toilet when he's out in the bush? Well, I'll show you. Okay, not show you, but I'll show you what I have to let me do that. Alright, so this is my shovel from Hardkorr. And basically it's a tactical shovel. It's got loads of different combinations, one of which is to turn it into a spear, if you want to go spear fishing or crabbing up north. So you just screw that into one of the attachments and then select the different lengths you want, basically. In the hilt here there's a fire starter, like a flint. Here's a knife. You unscrew that and screw it back in the other way around. And then this is the shovel blade itself, which also has a pick on it. So it's in a sheath because it's quite sharp. So you can use it as a... that's going to be funny back in there. Not easy to do one-handed, this. So that's the shovel head. And you can see it's got a sharp edge here. It's used as an axe. It's got a serrated one this side to use as a saw if needed. You've got different tools and attachments to use to get things out. And the tip itself is quite sharp as well to help you dig into the ground. You can select, so you unscrew this, so unscrew the lock-in mechanism. Just that little plate. And then you can, yeah, pretty help before I show you, wouldn't it? See here. You unscrew this, then you release the lock-in plate here. So to select the different angles. So if you wanted to use it just as an axe or a pick, you select that level, for example. We want to use it as a shovel, so we're putting it on here. And then that totally negates the pick kind of side of it. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do this one-handed, so I'll put it together and then I'll show you. Oh, you've also got like a small little measuring tape there. Okay, so when you've dug said hole, I've then got this fold-out toilet seat. It comes with this little insert, and I'll show you what that's for. So you've got these biodegradable bags, and you put one down in the middle there, spread it out, and then put that ribbon to hold it. Let's see if it'll stay. Kind of approximately. And then you bury the contents of the bag once you're done. And that's it. I've also got this pop-up privacy tent, should you need it. And yeah, you go and do your business basically. So there we are. Simple as that. Okay, and that's the shovel fully kind of constructed. One thing I'm going to use it for is the guy lines I put down last night. It's quite solid ground, so I'm having difficulty getting the pegs out. And we can use this attachment to do that. But yeah, okay, we'll do that. Okay, so these flies are really out in force again today. So I've just put the roof rack, the rooftop tent away, and just got the jerry can down to fill up the, well, not fill up, top up the petrol tank. That's a little flexible nozzle I got for it, which lives in the back there where those little dusters are. Wrap it up in those to stop it from rattling. Oh, bloody hell, it's warm already, and yeah, these flies, Jesus Christ, the flies. I'll be making a beeline back for the coast today, in the hope that there's less flies near the coast. And I am very much considering booking into a B&B or motel or something for the night to get some respite from the flies and charge everything, wash everything, and then go to Woolies or Coles or something and get some supplies. Well, let's see. Okay, so welcome to the relative calm of indoors. There's a couple of flies made it in, but not many. It's weird, the flies, they repeatedly try to get in, and then when they're in and you close the doors, they're desperate to get out, you know, they're weird. Anyway, got the aircon on, cool, just calming down a wee bit. Oh, Flies, man, when you're trying to do stuff, they just really get on your nerves. In addition to flies, you got these small little bitey things which I talked about last night, midges, and I keep looking down my top to see one biting me, and I've got loads of bite marks all over me. So yeah, so we're just about to leave Bullock Pools to go back to the homestead, just to say to them I'm still alive. And to give them their map back, and then we're going to set course back to Geraldton. Yeah, and I'm going to try and get a motel tonight, I think, or at least a caravan park, so I can, you know, have a shower and wash my clothes and stuff. Like the scrubber I got is good when you're on the go and you got little things to do, but I haven't changed the sheets on the rooftop tent since I left Bunbury, basically. So what we're talking about, coming up to 2 weeks now. So I just want to wash everything really, and you know, just make myself feel clean again, really. And I just chill out in aircon, watch a bit of TV and do nothing, catch up with sleep. I've really enjoyed being out in the bush for 3 days. The flies aside, you know, the flies have been terrible, but the change of scenery is just it's beautiful, you know. This is just different from everything else. As we go a bit north, we'll have a few more gorges and a few more kind of rocky outcrops and stuff. It's very flat around here with a few kind of hills. So like when we go up to Calbarry, for instance, there's a lot of gorges there, cliffs, etc. So hopefully that'll be a very nice contrast again. But I will come back inland to places like this as I go up the coast. There's a couple of stations I want to go to, and Mount Augusta. It's a very long climb, so I'm going to need to take a lot of water and stuff for that. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'd highly recommend coming for a station stay, and indeed Gabyon Station. Gabyon Station is a working station. A lot of these station stays purely just do kind of stays these days, but and don't really farm the land. But here they are actively farming the land as well, so just bear that in mind. On the plus side, you'll get to see livestock, and like for instance, they had goats which had been abandoned, which they were rearing by hand, and you can feed them as well. You know, this was quite good. And also, you know, if you wanted to come here and help out on the station, they're very happy for you to do that. And you could even, you know, by working on the station, get your stay here for free and get fed and everything. They're always on the lookout in all regional areas for tradies. So if you've got a trade like a brickie, plumber, etc., you know, they would love you out here. Really love you. So yeah, look, I can't recommend it highly enough. I hope you've seen from my footage here and the drone footage and everything that I've tried to do that it's been a lovely place. And you know, I've gone on and on about the flies, and the last 24 hours they have certainly got to me, but that's only because there hasn't been a breeze. The last couple of days prior to yesterday, there was a nice breeze and the flies were manageable, you know, really quite manageable. And if you don't like flies and you still want to come up here, then just wait a little bit until like the winter period, and it'll be fly free, so, well, relatively. So yeah, there we are. Anyway, thoroughly enjoyed my time here, and let's go back to the homestead. next week on Jeep Roscoe.
And we're in Geraldton again.